Hello everyone and welcome back to the Therapy by Craft YouTube channel. My name is Eunice. I am the maker behind Therapy by Craft, where I like to talk about yarny things, mostly knitting and mostly socks. What is today? It is June 13th. It is Saturday and it is like summer of socks. Like the sock knitting has been off the charts and I am so excited to share with you what I've been up to. It's only been a couple of weeks since the last time I recorded, and today I have 2 finished pairs of socks, both of which I'm so excited about, and then I have 2 works in progress, and then I can't decide on what to knit next. I kind of want to just cast on all the things, but maybe you can help me out and let me know what I should cast on next. I can't decide. Anyway, you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Therapy by Craft. I will have the link to my project page down below. I'm pretty good about keeping up to date with my projects. I list every single sock actually with the start date, end date, details on how I do my rows, my magic numbers, etc., etc. So if you are interested in details that I forget to mention, then you can check out my Ravelry page for all of that information. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. The first finished pair of socks I have to show you is actually the one that I finished most recently, but I have the least to say about it. I have a lot to say about the other one, so I'm going to start with the one that we can breeze through pretty quickly. So this is my Brick Not Black self-striping colorway sock. This is what it is. Ta-da! This is actually pair number 18 for the year. It is a yarn by Freckled Whimsy, and it's part of her astrology collection. This is the Pisces colorway. I am a Pisces, so of course I needed to get it. And also I just really love the dreamy, oceany vibes. It's like clearly oceany, but there's also like a romantic feel to it. You know what I mean? And I think that's very in line with what is typically, I don't know, how Pisces are typically described. Anyway, I started this pair on June 1st and I finished it on June 12th. I did something a little bit differently. I did 30 rounds of 2x2 for the cuff, and then I did 40 rounds for the leg. So it is a little bit of a shorter sock. I'm trying to see if I like this combo or not, but I don't know. I did do a contrast heel, as you can plainly see, and I did it in it's the opal burgundy. It's a solid colorway. I did that as an homage to the fact that this colorway is actually an oopsie colorway. The reason it's called Brick Not Black is because where it's black here, it's actually supposed to be a brick red color. So that black isn't supposed to be a part of this colorway, but honestly, I think it looks fantastic. I like that contrast stripe or whatever. But anyway, the dyer of Freckled Whimsy, I think her name is Stacy. Ooh, is that right? I don't know. But the dyer indicates in the listing, oh, my hair, the listing for this colorway that it is supposed to be a brick color and it's actually a whoopsie colorway. And so I put the brick in here because it was supposed to be a part of the original color story. So I like that. I use a US 1 or 2.25 millimeter needle for all of my socks. I like to do my socks in tandem, which means that I have them on separate needles, but I work both of them at the same time. And I don't know if you can tell, but I like to have my socks not really matching. Like I find that to be whimsical and fun and playful, and so that's what I do. One of the colorways is going in one direction and this is going in the opposite direction. So if I flip it like this, you'll see that the colors line up this way. So the colorway is going from cuff to toe on one side and toe to cuff on the other. I was starting to tell you the numbers that I used, right? So I did 30 rounds for the cuff, 40 rounds for the leg. I did a contrast heel in the burgundy colorway by Opal. I did 75 rounds for the foot before decreasing for the toe. And there's honestly not much to say about this pair. I wish I had weighed it before, but I did not. And the socks are actually still a little bit damp. So I have discovered that I like to block my socks. I like to block all of my socks, which is how I'm able to have kind of like a crisp shape for the sock. But I don't like it when the cuffs are like stretched out like this. I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of the elasticity or the elastic properties of the 2x2 ribbing. And if I spend all that time and energy and cramp up my hands on some days to knit the cuff, then I want the elasticity to be there. You know what I mean? So what I do and what I have found that I like is I will wet block my socks. I will soak them, and then I will put them on my blockers overnight so that the majority of the sock will kind of memorize the shape that I want it to be. And then I will take them off the blocker and then I'll spritz just the cuff so that it goes back to having sort of that elasticity. And so that the cuff maintains sort of, a cuff shape. So I did that this morning. I spritzed it a little bit so that it'll return back to a 2x2 ribbed shape. And it's only been like, a couple hours since I spritzed it, and already it's returned to that little stretchy shape that I like for the cuff only. So that's why I haven't weighed it, because the cuffs are still a little bit damp. But anyway, that's that. Is there anything else to say about this? No, I don't think so. Oh, I get all of my Freckled Whimsy colors, all of my Freckled Whimsy yarns are in her Serendipity base, which is a 75-25 blend, 75% superwash merino, and then the 25% nylon, and it's a 4-ply base. And that is what I like. So, yes. That is pair number 18 for the year. And we're going to go backwards a little bit because the next pair is pair number 17. And this is where I want to spend the majority of my time. So let me show you the yarn first. I've knit with this yarn before. It's the Martian Rainbow colorway by Mustache Yarns. And I made a pair of socks that I shared last episode just using that colorway, and then like a gray contrast heels, toes, and cuffs, I think. And the idea behind that was I wanted it to be like a rainbow emerging from dark clouds or whatever. That's why I kind of used the gray colorway as the contrast. For my second pair, I wanted to do a completely like opposite thing, where instead of using a dark contrast color, I use a light contrast color. And in this case, I guess the light color ended up being more of the main color, but I will show you the colorway first, the yarns first. I used Nomad Yarns. It's K-N-O-M-A-D. Nomad Yarns. I purchased like a pack of 10 50-gram undyed skeins from Nomad Yarns. And this is what that color is. And then this is the Martian Rainbow by Mustache Yarns. I have, I don't know how much this is, but this is how much I have left. And I think that's enough. I think I maybe have like 1.5 color repeats left. It's a 12 stripe repeat. I think I have enough for maybe 1.5. Still undecided on what I'm going to do. I think I might do another chunky cuff situation and pair it with like another fun variegated, like slightly variegated colorway. But this is what I have left. and I paired these two together. I striped them in actually, and it was so fun. I was going back and forth on whether or not I wanted to do helical socks with these two, or if I wanted to do like 2 rounds and 2 rounds and 2 rounds or whatever, like small stripes. And I'm so glad I went with the small stripe thing. Anyway, without further ado, ta-da! Here they are. Oh my God. It's kind of blowing out because I'm right in front of a window, but holy cow. I mean, I am so happy with these. Oh, okay. So let's get into it. I used the pattern. The pattern that I used is called Sunday Socks by Sarah Opie. If you remember from last episode, I tried a new to me heel for the first time. It was a strong heel. It is a heel that basically works from the cuff down, and you do increases for the gusset in the round before you do a heel turn. So there's no flap, there's no picking up for the gusset afterwards. Like, you just go, 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 go. And as I was working on those socks, I was thinking this might work really well for self-striping or for any kind of a design pattern sock. I think I had seen it before, like around on Ravelry. And I just realized in working the strong heel the last time why designers use that type of heel when they have a pattern that they want to have continue going on the back of the foot. So I thought, I don't know if I'm ready for like a pattern, like a pattern, texture pattern type of sock, but I do love the stripes. It is also knit all the stripes. Oh, there's a motorcycle outside my window. Okay, it's gone now. It's also Knit All the Stripes make along with Lisa of Knit All the Yarn podcast. So I thought this is perfect. I will kind of do a double whammy where I use self-striping yarn, but I also stripe them in. And I wonder how it'll go if I used the strong heel for that pattern. Like, will it continue on the back of the sock? And the answer is yes. I am so pleased with how it turned out. I will insert a picture here of what it looks like on. I posted some pictures on Instagram to sort of demonstrate the vision and show what I really was hoping would be the effect of doing the strong heel with the striping. And I could not be more pleased. So I did a 10 round cuff with the main color, and in this case it's the neutral, and then I just switched colors every 2 rounds. So I will show you the inside of one of these socks to show how I just carried the yarn all the way through. I just made sure that whatever color I was using next, or like if I was switching colors, that I caught the previous yarn as I was working that first stitch. So that's what it looks like on the inside, and it made it fantastic when it was time to weave in the ends because there weren't a lot to weave in. Okay. The part I was worried about were the increases. The pattern is really great in that it tells you how to do the increases for the gusset, but the way that you do it is that you, depending on if you're making a right leaning increase or a left leaning increase, you pick up the leg from one of the rows below. It's either the row directly below or 2 rows below. And I wasn't sure how the stripes were going to come out because again, this is like a 2-stripe repeat. So I really wasn't sure how it was going to come out, but I think it came out okay. So I was very pleased that my experiment resulted in something that was still visually pleasing to me. And then the other area where I needed to sort of experiment a bit was in the actual heel turn. Like I said, I was doing 2 rounds of each color. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to start the heel turn at the first round of the new color, like the first round of my neutral, or the second round of the neutral. So for one of them, I did it on the first round, and on the second one, I did it on the second round. And I think it was better on the second round. Let me show you what it looks like. So this heel turn was done on the first round of my new color. You see that? I know why that happened, and I will share that with you, but this is what it looked like. It's blowing out quite a bit, but I think you can see it, right? This is what the heel turn looked like when I did the turn on the second round. So that means I had a full round of that one color, right, of the neutral color before I started the heel turn, and it is way more crisp. It's way cleaner. So in the future, or for any of you guys who plan to do a sock like this, or you plan to do like a contrast heel sort of situation, especially if there's stripes, I think that's something to consider. The reason I think this happened, or not, I think, the reason this happens is because the heel turn is worked in short rows. So you have your number of stitches, right? And in my case, let's say I had like 40 stitches, okay? You work just like halfway or a little more than halfway. Oh, there's a little gnat. You work like a little more than halfway, and then you start toggling back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you work specific stitches to kind of close the gaps and strengthen that seam as you're working the short rows back and forth, back and forth. Now, if you do it on the first round of a color change, like in this one, what's happening and what happened is that I worked, it's like new color, new color, new color, and then this is all the old color. So it's new color, you pick up with the new color. And then when you pick up over on this side, it's the old color, so it's the purple. Then you go this way and you pick up with the new color, which is the white. And then you go back this way and what you pick up is the old color, which is the purple. And so that's why it ended up with the purple peeking through in between the white stitches here. And it makes for more of like a jaggedy pickup or seam, I guess, on the heel turn. So I think moving forward, if I do stripy situations like this with a strong heel, I'm just going to have to keep that in mind so that I have a cleaner heel turn that looks like this. I am very, very pleased with this pair. I'm also very pleased with how I counted the rounds for the foot on this pair as opposed to the last one. You guys had a lot of great tips on how to, or when to start counting for the foot. Someone was mentioning that where you really want to start counting for the foot is after the heel turn. And I think when it comes to this pair, or like the strong heel, that absolutely turned out to be true. So previously, the very first strong heeled sock that I made, that I shared last episode, I started counting for the quote foot when I started the gusset increases, but that's where I kind of ran into problems. So this time I started counting for the foot after I turned the heel, and I just measured here for the foot. Now, the counts are just not going to be the same as when I do a heel flap and gusset. I think I just need to know that for myself, and note moving forward that when I do the strong heel, the number of rounds I will need for my US size 7.5 woman's foot is 55 rounds between when I do the heel flap, when I do the heel turn, and when I need to start the beginning of my toe decreases. So I did 10 rounds for the cuff. I think I did about 60 rounds. Is that correct? 70 rounds. I did 70 rounds for the leg. Then my gusset area here, the increases where I did my gusset before my heel turn was about 28 rounds, I think. And then from my heel turn to my toe decreases were 55 rounds. If you need a visual of these numbers, please check out my Ravelry projects page. That has all of that listed on there. Okay, is there anything else I want to say about that? Yeah, I don't think so. I'm very, very happy with this pair. I am so excited to wear it. I just think that they're perfect. Oh, the one thing that I want to ask you guys about, because when I wore them, I noticed that this heel turn section is like really wide. So if I'm standing and like my feet are flat on the ground, you can see the heel turn, like the whites of the heel turns peeking out towards the sides of my feet. And I don't love that. So do you guys have any remedies for this? Because this is my first time doing, or I am very new at doing the strong heel. I've just recently discovered it and I am very much enjoying the benefits of it. But I don't really like that. When I do the contrast, like I don't really like how it kind of peeks out like that. When I did it the first time, it was all one color. I didn't do a contrasting heel turn color, so I didn't notice that to be an issue, but this time I did. Is there a remedy for this, or is that just how it is? Can you let me know, for those of you guys who are more familiar with this heel? Because, yeah. If I can fix that, then I think I may do a strong heel more often. I find it to be comfortable. It's not as tight around the heel, definitely, but it is snug enough. And it was very comfortable to wear when I wore my Dodger socks to the Dodgers game. So, yes. Okay, those are my two finished objects. I have two works in progress to also share with you. The first one is such a fun colorway. I am holding it in my A Needle Runs Through It project bag. In here is my Magic Land yarn rainbow unicorn colorway socks. And it's a mostly neutral, like white base or undyed base with just these beautiful rainbow like stripes across. I think that's how she had dyed it. I fell in love with it. I was like, oh my gosh, that looks so beautiful. I am so curious about how it's going to knit up into socks. So really, not only was the yarn beautiful, but I don't think I've seen a skein dyed in that manner before. So my curiosity got the best of me. I just was so curious on how it was going to knit up in a pair of socks. So I ordered it, and then I received the yarn on June 3rd, which was 10 days ago. And the day that I received it, I wound it up and I started knitting with it. I just couldn't wait. I don't know the last time that I did that, where I received the yarn and I caked it up right away and started it like within the hour. I really don't know the last time I did that, but this colorway just compelled me to do that. So I am at the toe. One of them just needs Kitchenerring, but I'm very far along. This is probably going to get finished today, no doubt. So cute. Look at how this beautiful pair, or this colorway, is knitting up in this pair. Isn't that so cute? I am loving it. Oh, it is just so darling. I love it. I love it. This is I wish I had the band with me. I don't have the band. I do have another skein of yarn from Magic Land yarn, so I will show you that. This is her ball band. It's so cute. She's heavily inspired by Disney. And this is the base information. So it's the Princess Sock base. It's not this colorway is a different colorway, but the base is the same. It is Princess Sock 8515. And I believe this is 4-ply. and it's such a soft, squishy, oh, it's so divine the way that it feels. And knitting it has also been such a pleasure. Okay, these socks are for Sam. I changed up her magic numbers though. So let me tell you what I did. I will use the one that's not connected to the ball anymore. I did 10 rounds of 2x2 for the cuff. I do 56 stitches for her. And this time, instead of 30 rounds for the leg, I did 40 rounds for the leg. I just wanted to continue working with this color is really what it was. And I wanted as much surface area as I could get that Sam would allow me to have for her socks. So I did 40 rounds for the leg. And then I did a different kind of heel that I've never done before. I did a garter flap for the heel. I don't even know if I did it right, to be honest with you. But I like the effect. And I did this because we got new pairs of shoes for Sam recently. We got some really cute like slip-on Skechers for her, but because they're new, the back of her heel was sort of slipping a little bit. She tried on her non-hand knit socks, and because they were not hand knit, they were a little bit thinner. So she was like, "Oh no, I don't. Like, it's not comfortable for me to like run in these shoes because like it's just a little like too slippery in the back." And so she put on her hand knit socks and she was like, "Oh, this is actually much better because the fabric is a little bit more thick." Anyway, so the idea that I got was, I wonder if a garter ridge heel flap, like a garter heel flap would help with that. Like, will it add a little bit more friction to her heel so that her shoes will stay on more snugly? I don't know. We'll find out. But that was what inspired me to do that. For the heel flap, I don't know how you're supposed to do it, but I literally just slip the first stitch with the yarn in front, and then I knit all the way across. I like put the yarn to the back, and then I knit all the way across every single row for the heel flap. And that way I had kind of a selvage edge, like one stitch at the edge of the heel flap, so it made it a lot easier for me to pick up stitches for the gusset when I got to that point. I did the heel turn the exact same way. I did not, so all that to say, I didn't really use a pattern for this. I just kind of went with my gut. And I knit all the rows instead of doing the slip stitches when I did the heel flap. I hope that made sense. Were you guys able to follow along with that? Anywho, that's what I did for the heel, and then everything else is the same. I am doing 55 rounds for the foot. That includes the gusset and the foot. And I'm doing my toe decreases the exact same way. And I am on the toe decreases on the second sock. So I have no doubt that this will get done today. This will be pair number 19, I think. Yeah, this will be pair number 19. I'm very pleased. That means I have 4 socks going at the same time because now I have one more whip that I am also working on. I feel like that was a lot, but I also was so happy and excited about all the socks that I was working on. So I'm tempted to kind of finish this, the rainbow unicorn socks, and then cast on 3 more. Oh, I don't know, but do I really need 4 whips going at the same time? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, my last whip is held here. This is just like a random makeup bag, but I really like the cats. So I am using my makeup bag as a project bag because free will. Okay, this project bag is holding I kind of want to call this my Darth Vader socks because that's what this reminds me of. Technically, the colorway is Bullfinch by West Yorkshire Spinners 4-ply signature, like in the 4-ply signature yarn line. But this really reminds me of Darth Vader. So I just want to call it my Darth Vader socks. This is the yarn caked up. And this is where I'm at. Oh, I'm in the middle of a row right here. That's annoying. I rarely ever do that. But whatever. Okay. This is where I am on these socks. Oh, they're so beautiful. They're so cool. I love this so much. Once again, I am doing 64 stitches, and I am pulling from the outside of the cake for one of the socks, and I am pulling from the inside of the cake for the other sock. And in so doing, my pattern, the color patterning, is going in the opposite direction, and I freaking love it. I think it's so cool, and I love when like socks are a pair. Like, it's clearly a pair. It go together, but it's not exactly the same. There's like some individuality for each of the socks. You know what I mean? Oh, I love it. I am using a black, I think this is Knit Pick Stroll, but I also don't know. Is it Stroll or is it Heritage? It's a softer yarn. Was it the best choice to use a softer yarn for the heel and the toe? Probably not. But at this point, I don't care. It's done. I've already done it. See, I've already done it. And more than that, I really, really wanted to use black for the contrast color in these socks. So I was just going to use whatever I had. I shared this last time, but the way I manage my yarn is I hold the ball up like this if I'm working from the inside of the cake. And then I put it in upside down like this in my little project bag when I am working on the sock that is connected to the outside of the cake. And that really helps me with yarn management, like a lot. So if any of you guys struggle with that, then there's a tip for you. Okay, anything to say about these socks? I am making them hella long, as you can see. I did 20 rounds of 2x2 for the cuff. After doing like a pop of that contrast at the very top, I think I cast on and knit 2 additional rounds. So it's 3 rounds of the black right there. And then 20 rounds total, so including the black for the cuff. And then I did 80 rounds for the leg. I did that because the West Yorkshire Spinners yarn is a very hardy yarn. I have a Christmas pair of socks that I knit several years ago, and it is awesome when it's cold. It is so cozy, and I wanted this pair to kind of function in that way for colder weather. It's perfect for inside boots if you go hiking. It's just a really hardy, it's not a summer yarn, I would say. It's not a summer sock that I'm making with this. So that's why I made the legs much longer. And I'm very excited for this to be used in the colder weather because it's going to be perfect for that. But yeah, these are my Bullfinch / Darth Vader socks and my last whip. Okay, so help me figure out what to cast on next because I'm so full of ideas. Okay, because I'm working on this pair, I don't know what to cast on next. I am going to be done with this within the week for sure, and I'm going to be done with my Rainbow Unicorn socks today. So I need to make a decision about what to cast on. I probably will have already decided by the time this video goes up, but maybe I will have only chosen one whip, one cast on, and I think I want to do like 2 or 3 cast ons. So help me out. Okay, here are the options. I received new yarn from my friend Maria, who is amazing. She is another sock knitter and a sister from another mister, truly. Like, I think our birthdays are just a couple days apart. She is in Germany, but nevertheless, she's a kindred spirit for sure. And she sent over to me this beautiful project bag that she has sewn up herself. Isn't that gorgeous? And she also sent me some lovely self-striping yarns by Nicole C. Mendez, which look like this. And she sent me one a couple years ago in like an orangey sherbet kind of color. And I haven't worked with that, but I do feel inspired. Like, do I want to cast this up? Ooh, one of them is called Cozy Up. The other is called Bike Ride. Ah, this looks beautiful. She also sent me opal yarns. And these are so fun, right? Like, what? These are summery and fun, and they remind me of like Candyland and just, I don't know. So I kind of want to knit this up too. I also have this Magic Land yarn that I showed earlier. This one is called Unbirthday Cake. And because I was working with her unicorn rainbow socks and that base is just divine, I'm kind of tempted to do something with this. Like maybe if I do chunky cuffs with this Martian rainbow and then use this as the main color, would that be fun? Or do I want to use the remaining unicorn rainbow to do socks like that? So basically it would look like this. Oh, that looks fun too. So this is a pair for Sam. So do I need my own pair with this as a cuff? Oh, okay. So there's that option. And then my friend Sam from NorCal, who is another yarny friend of mine, she graciously and she just so generously sends me yarn on my birthday. And this year, she also sent me an opal yarn. She sent me like a lovely package. And included in that was this opal yarn. And I have been eyeing this ever since I received it. It'll look like that knit up. And I just, this is calling to me too. And then I received my June colorway for Hypnotic Yarns, which is my Yarnable. She's the dyer for Yarnable. And this colorway for June also looks so good. It's called Fairy Godmother. And it's similar to the Rainbow Unicorn in that it is like mostly neutral, right? Mostly undyed or neutral color with like these beautiful speckles in between, like scattered throughout sparsely. Oh, and something about that feels really tantalizing too. And then another Hypnotic Yarn colorway has been calling to me. This is the September 2025 colorway called Shroom with the View. And I'm thinking about this because I think I want to gift this to someone whose birthday is coming up in the next month. So I'm like, ooh, I think he would really like that. It's for my brother, but I don't think he watches, so it's probably not an issue. But my brother's birthday is coming up, and he recently sent me proof of wear. He sent me a picture. He wore some socks that I knit him for Christmas last year, like in his work attire. Like he wore them with his work shoes and stuff. So cute. My baby brother is all grown up. But he sent me a picture of it, and I'm like, he deserves more socks. And I feel like this color would suit him. So I'm also thinking about knitting this. But I kicked up this colorway. This is a Felici colorway called General Store. I kicked this up before I had my snafu with the Blippi yarn from episodes past, but I do feel hopeful about this. And I feel like a self-striping color would be really, really fun to work on. I really liked the Brick Knot Black, and so I I kind of want another self-striping yarn on my needles. And this one's already wound up, so I'm tempted to cast this on. And then I haven't recently, this is not a new to me dyer in the sense that I just found out about them, but it is new to me in that I just purchased like a grip of their colorways. It's Area 51. Oh, so I am so screwed because Area 51 is, I think, is she a Canadian yarn dyer? I forget where she dyes from, but she is a self-striping colorway dyer. She sells off, she has her own website and she updates her shop every Friday. And her colorways, I got 2 of them, and then the following week, I got like 4 more. Excuse me. I got black licorice, which is this. It's just black and white, but I don't know. I was just thinking about like how many ends I would have to weave in or what it would look like to like switch colors and to stripe them in myself. And I just thought, I just want to do it like this. So this is black licorice. And then this is, I'm just here for the roast beast. It is based on the classic Grinch. And both of these are on her, oh yeah, it's hand dyed in Canada. But both of these are on her Sturdy Alien base. It is an 80-20 blend, 3-ply yarn. So it's not a 2-ply. So 80-20, but not 2-ply. So that's why I got it. These are also 50 grams each. This one is Christmassy, so I think I might cast this on in July for like Christmas in July. I also have 3 other colorways coming from her. And those are exciting too. So I might just wait until those come in the mail before deciding which Area 51 fiber colorway to cast on. But as you can see, this is why I'm in such a pickle. The other thing I'm thinking about, I think the easy peasy scrappy make along or knit along that's hosted by someone on Instagram. She sells Etsy. She sells on Etsy like opal kits, like scrappy kits, and they have like a scrappy knit along, opal knit along right now. Or it's not just opal, but it's like a scrappy knit along right now. And I also am like, I kind of want to knit scrappy opal socks. And then I also am thinking, what if I striped in like every 2 or 3 rounds 2 self-striping yarns together? So that idea is also tantalizing. I don't know. It's pretty chaotic in my brain. Like up here, like the ideas for all the socks I want to make is pretty chaotic. So I really need to slow things down and figure out like where I want to place my energy, because otherwise it's just going to be a hot mess and I'm going to feel overwhelmed and overstimulated. So help me out. What do you think? What should I do? What am I needing right now? That's kind of the process that I'm in right now. Like, what do I need? What do I want to do? How is my craft going to serve me right now? What do I need to cast on so that it is life-giving to me and not, it's not going to like sweep me away in the flurry of the excitement and the flurry of this energy. Like, what's actually going to ground me? I don't know. Anyway, on that note, I hope you guys are doing well. How is your June? I hope that you guys are having moments of peace and that your craft is serving you well. Tell me about that if you want to in the comments below. I think I'm very good about responding to comments in like the first week or so, and then after that, that's not so great. So I'll get better about that. But if you are one of the people that I responded to like 2 or 4 months later, thank you for your patience. But anywho, until the next time I see you guys, I hope you have moments of peace. I hope your craft serves you well, and happy knitting. Bye.
Don't leave me here high and dry.